5.
Yes.
4, 3.
Happy New Year.
I talk about this all the time. If you want to see product ownership in action, go watch a rehearsal of a play, because that when you go do that, you get to see a high-performing team in action, and you get to see a team that's got that product owner role embedded in it. It's the director of the play. Any good play is going to have a director that's got a vision and is going to be like, this is what we're marching toward. These are the 30 days that we have to achieve this vision, and I'm not wavering from it. And it's pretty interesting. I mean, we talk as much as we talk about role blending. There's also that sense of when the director's got a vision and the actor's like, hey, I got an idea. How about I do a spit take here? And the director responds with, hey, how about I be the director and you be the actor?
Right.
Right? Like, I mean, there's a sense of, I know what my role is. I know what I want. Just allow me to articulate it so that you can do your job, which is to implement what I'm trying to articulate.
But how does, let me ask you this, though, because I think that's a good analogy, but how do the people, the actors, the folks doing this, if they have an idea, how do they end up building the relationship of trust with that person, that what they're being told to do is right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. If it's your first time performing in a play with that director, then the act of building that theatrical production is that's the thing that builds trust. But so that's really interesting. That is an excellent segue.
So what you're saying is it takes time.
Yes, it takes time, but trust comes first, I think. So in my model of trust that only lives right here, trust is first, and then those things that reinforce trust come later. Whereas the model that we encounter more frequently is that trust is absent until you prove that you're trustworthy.
Right.
I cast you in this play, therefore I trust you, and the only way to get the performance that we need out of you is for me to demonstrate that trust is absolute. Because as soon as that actor thinks there's some jeopardy in this trust relationship here, I mean that performance is shot.
But product owners don't cast their own teams, right?
Unfortunately not.
Right. So they kind of start from a trust deficit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, okay. Well,
let me go on that because I do ask people that question. It's like, where do you stand? Do you stand where you walk in the door and you trust people, or do you walk in the door and you don't trust people, or are you right in the middle? Or are you somewhere in the middle?
Yeah.
And of course, most people say I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm like you, John. I probably walk. I'm gullible, maybe.
Yeah.
I walk in the door
Naive.
and I trust people. And I think with a product owner or a product manager, I hope, there is again, coming back to kind of the soft skills and stuff like that of product managers, there is kind of like, you got to make sure you can build rapport quickly, build that approachableness quickly. But yet, this is why I go back to, like, you have to have knowledge. If you have domain knowledge of something, therefore you're showing ability out of the gate, then people typically trust you. And I think to what you're saying, John, like if you put on a play, you trust throughout, and when you execute that first time, and people that first time, even if it's not the best, but you got it done, and people clapped at the end of the first showing.
Yeah.
Then you all feel good about yourself, and your trust grows in that director, right?
Yeah. Right. So let's
that message, deliver early as a team.
Yes.
Build trust. Deliver early.
Let's de-analogize here. As a director of you like that? Okay. As a director of a play, I trust that when I articulate the vision, first of all, that you have the skills and the versatility and the tools in your toolbox to implement that vision. But you're going to show it to me, and it's not going to be perfect according to the version of it that I had in my head. So I'm going to give you some feedback, and I'm going to say, here, look, here's what I'm trying to connote. I don't want this to be sad. I want it to be pitiful. Oh, okay. So less teary and more like self-shame. Yeah, right? Like that. Those are the conversations. I don't want to have a conversation as a director with an actor that goes like, listen, you're doing this thing where your eyebrows are coming up like this. I want your eyebrows to be like right here. That's ridiculous. And as soon as you do that, the actor's like, can't wait to find my next job because this is awful. So I just got out of a meeting right before we started having this conversation where we're building some software internally, and this is always top of mind. I mean, the whole like never give a line reading is a big deal. I don't want to have to say to a development team, I think that like if you fake this data in this area here, then you don't have to necessarily display it online, but you could do it this way, or you could add these 3 fields. I want to describe the problem, right? Like the problem is I want to be able to express a potential engagement in our software, and then I want that potential engagement to be reflected in our forecast. I don't want to have to go so deep to say I want to be able to enter in this deal, and I want to pick this fake consultant to be assigned to this deal, and then blah, 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 blah. I would like to have a conversation where we're sharing the same understanding, and they can respond by saying, oh, okay, so if we did it this way, would this work? Like that's a much better conversation to have, a problem-solving conversation, than one where I, as product owner, who really just, all I want to do is articulate the vision, don't put me in a position to have to like design it, problem solve it.
Right.